I want to live in a world where Jermaine Burton ends up taking full advantage of how good he could be with his potential, and he becomes that good. That's the world I want to live in, and that's the world this offseason that Jermaine Burton is creating. And I gotta say, thank the Lord, because we need him to. So Zac Taylor talked to reporters about Jermaine Burton recently, and he said, pretty plain and simple, all we can handle is the present at this point. Which honestly is the most factual thing you can say. At the end of the day, you can't change the past. You can't change what happened before. All you can do is change your future. No matter what you did in your past, you can't change it. You can't go back in time and say, oh, I'm not going to do this at a third. You can only worry about what happens in the future. So, very true statement. He then continues to say, I think he's done a good job of that this offseason. He's been in the building. He's been in the building outside of work hours, doing his own thing and rehabbing his body right. He has attacked practice the right way. And this is what you can control now. So I appreciate that much. Which is the polar opposite of how he was last offseason, right? We found out he was falling asleep in meetings. He didn't care about practice. Wasn't running the routes correctly. Didn't care about learning the playbook. Obviously had issues off the field, which, to be honest, this is actually a beautiful thing to hear. Because him being in the building means he's not doing bad stuff outside the building. There is a motto in life. I think it's like, loose hands, or it's like the keeps you from the devil's workshop or something. Like, pretty much, if you keep yourself busy, you won't find yourself in a situation where you're doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing, right? If you always have something to do, you're not worrying about other things and finding yourself in bad situations. So it seems like him being in the building, rehabbing his body, working out, and as he says here, he's in the building outside of work hours. That means he's actually putting this serious. He's taking this serious. He's actually, trying his best to be the best him that he can be. Because just imagine if this upcoming season, I know we have to really imagine this one, if we already know T's going to be amazing. We already know that, T's going to be amazing. Jamar's going to be amazing. Our third receiver right now is Yoshi. But imagine if Jermaine Burton can become that slot receiver number 3. If he can become that guy in the slot, Yoshi obviously is an outside receiver anyway, so he would just be utilized as a backup to T or Jamar. If we can get everything going, because we already know that Yoshi's going to only get better. He's getting better every single year at this point. Like, he's only going to continue to get better as time goes on. If we can get a fourth receiver on this team that can play at a very, very high level, really recoup that third round pick we spent on Jermaine Burton last year, this offense is going to get 1,000 times better. Because again, the problem with Jermaine Burton is he has the potential, he has all the intangibles to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. And if you watch him in Alabama, his biggest issue was, again, his mindset and off the field stuff and how he was. He was a troublemaker. That was his biggest issue. Outside of that, he could, if he can figure that stuff out, the sky is the limit for Jermaine Burton. But again, he needs to figure that stuff out, and that's, again, easier said than done, right? At the end of the day, everything is easier said than done. It's going to take, this whole offseason of him figuring this out. And if he can have a good offseason, good training camp, good preseason, we already saw Joe was throwing him the ball in workouts, which, again, that's a good sign. When your quarterback is throwing you passes in workouts, that's a good sign. That means that in some way, Joe does still have faith that he can get his crap together and figure things out. Now, obviously, we do also have Chuck Sizzle at receiver. If he can stay healthy, he is also in that technical slot role. Again, with his injury history, it seems like the Bengals want to utilize him mainly as just a, punt returner, kick returner guy. But who knows? Maybe he can, figure some things out and get things, worked out better. But again, like I said, honestly, at this point, with all the Trey Hendrickson situations going on and all the information going crazy, I'm just very, very happy that we got a positive update on Jermaine Burton. That's what I needed, okay? With all the crap going on, I just needed a positive update. And this is our positive update. Jermaine Burton is not messing it up. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys next one.